8-ball jackets, old school hip hop, lines at the airport. These are just a few topics covered today with the Entertainer of the Year. Welcome to Walt's Kitchen Table, where I feature captivating stories from fascinating people. Artem Lomaz of 93 Entertainment joins us. Let's get to it.
Sure.
Make sure you sound,
You do like a mic check?
Sound so you sound professional and everything, because I know you have no idea how to talk on a mic.
No, that's usually... Well, the mic's usually in my hands. This is really different now.
Yeah, so now, just like my
what do I do with my hands now? I don't know.
Well, you keep them below the table, do whatever you want, but I don't care.
Okay.
So, you came up from Atlantic City
Yeah.
gambling?
No, not a gambler,
What?
but
What?
yeah.
What?
Sorry. I know you're big into mostly the poker.
Yeah, I like gambling.
Yeah.
Well, I bet on anything.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Is that more of you just like a challenge, or is that more? It's not even like a monetary thing for you. It's more
It's more of just a kind of keep a conversation going.
Right.
Right. So I'm building a spreadsheet and betting if you want to get on in it for who's going to end up on the throne at Game of Thrones.
Really? Wow. Okay.
You
So you
watch
do
Game
bet.
of-
I don't, but you do bet on anything. I can see that.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So that gives you an example.
Yeah.
I'll bet on anything.
That's fair.
Call me and I'll bet on anything.
Got it. So you have like baby pools and stuff for kids, that are getting born.
Oh no, that's
Anticipated.
boring.
Okay, that's
Yeah. No, a little more action involved. Like if this guy's going to make a 35-foot putt.
okay. Got it.
Like,
That makes sense.
Like prop bets. Prop bets. That's a good way to put it. It's prop bet.
Okay, so I guess I can't say I don't necessarily gamble, but I'll participate in a basketball pool or something of that nature, like
Right.
or try to see who pick winners in terms of who's playing whom.
So you all in the Final Four? You getting into all that?
Yeah, I'm much more of a professional basketball fan.
I was going to say player.
A professional basketball player. Yeah, a couple more feet. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think you're shy by a few inches.
Yeah, well, maybe a few feet. Yeah. Listen, not to say that there aren't guys my height in the NBA.
That is
I
true.
don't think they're getting any endorsement deals.
Yeah, well, that's play with your heart.
They're playing, they're getting paid, and they're part of the team. That's what matters.
That's it. They're getting paid.
They're getting paid.
And doing what they love.
Yeah.
I imagine, to be at that level, you got to do what you love.
Well, I would hope so.
Right.
And even honestly, if you're the 12th guy on the bench, you're still getting paid. And you're getting paid pretty well.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
And you can wear a jersey, and if they, like in football, if you're on the bench and they win a Super Bowl, you get a ring.
You get that ring. Yeah, same thing.
Yeah, right.
Same thing with basketball. You do. You get the ring. But you're a part of the team. You contribute in some way or fashion.
That is true.
I don't care if you're the last guy on the bench and you just give motivational speeches and that's all that you do, but it's contributing to the team's success.
Yeah, that's true. What are you doing down in Atlantic City?
Actually had a wedding. We had a wedding down there.
You got married?
No, not my wedding. So we actually...
When are you getting married?
When am I getting married?
Yeah.
You do like to gamble on everything.
Yeah, I was going to say, we could, hold on.
Make a poll, put some money on it.
I was going to say, hold on a second. Let me open up Google Docs. We'll start something right now. When is Artem getting married?
Make a spreadsheet.
I have a bunch of people that'll get in on that.
I thought you said I had a bunch of people lined up that want to marry you. So that's a spreadsheet I'd like to see.
Oh, yeah, that's a big spreadsheet.
Is it a big spreadsheet?
Yeah, that's a big
Listen,
spreadsheet.
Hey.
You can ask my wife. I got a long list.
I like that you're keeping the list, not her.
Yeah, well, that's true. Yeah, my list would probably be different than hers.
Possibly. You should cross-reference. No, it was actually, we did a wedding. As you know, I'm a wedding entertainer. So
for the people listening, let's get a little more into that real quick.
Oh,
just
sure.
for context for the rest of the...
Yeah, no problem.
Podcast.
I own 93 Entertainment, so I'm an MC. 90% of our business is primarily weddings and luxury weddings, and so I entertain. We basically coordinate the logistics of the event entertainment-wise, and then we put on the show, so to speak.
And here's a guy being extremely modest because he won DJ of the Year.
Wow. All
last
right.
year, 2000.
Entertainer of the Year.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's
There is
okay.
a difference. I know
there is a difference
difference
because they changed the name. Yeah, so there
Right.
was DJ of the Year. That's the same
So-
award, but they changed the name because it actually kind of makes more sense to call it entertainer. DJ, when you think DJ, you're spinning records, which is fair, but that's just
Right.
not what I'm
Entertainment.
doing. Correct.
Right.
Yeah.
And that was Entertainment of the Year through what organization?
DJ Times. So DJ Times puts on an international DJ conference, and that competition is part of their national expo.
And then what did it take to do that? Was that a year-long thing, or was that like a 3-day competition? Like what? Obviously, you're great at what you do, but
Thank you. That's subjective, but I'll take it.
but I've known you a while. I've seen
Thank
what you do.
Thank you.
But like, what did it take to do that?
So
like
it is,
to get that?
It is essentially it's a 1-day competition, 1 evening competition, really, but it's culminated through a year-long selection process.
Okay.
So throughout the year, you submit entries and ideas to the board, basically that make that decision, to the producers of that competition. Then they select 12 contestants, and they say that you guys are in, and then you get notified that you've been chosen as a finalist, and then it's on you to go out there and perform what you suggested.
It's like a dance-off.
Yeah. If you want to dance during it, sure. Yeah. It's a talent show.
Talent show.
Yeah,
Is it
basically,
really?
yeah,
Really? That's what it is. A
essentially.
talent show.
And they judge
That's
you.
amazing that you can get up on that stage and
Yeah, you're in front of your peers. That's I think one of the
man,
biggest
those
things.
are tough. Peers are tougher than your client.
100%, because
Absolutely.
they see things that nobody else sees.
Yeah.
And so that judges panel, it's typically about 8 judges, and that's all either previous winners or previous contestants, and it's someone
People
that's
that've been in the business forever, so they know what they know what
correct.
they're looking for.
They know what they're looking for, exactly. And so you're
right.
judged on a variety of categories, and essentially I was fortunate enough to walk away the winner when they tally up the score.
Nice. Did they hold like a card up each person at the end?
They eliminate one by one like a beauty pageant.
No kidding.
A little bit. They try to
Did you have
switch it up every year, but yeah, this
Did
year
you have a
was,
good sweat?
I did have a good sweat.
Did
Yeah,
you have a good sweat? Nervous?
a little
throughout
bit.
that too?
Yeah, once they start picking people off one by one, and then you start that. Okay, I'm
Still
4
here.
more left, 3 more left. Exactly. Yeah. Which
So
is
did
fun.
they pick? Did they go right down to number 2 and then it left the 1, or did they do like in the beauty pageant, or like I know they do it in like the Mr. Olympia and stuff? They have 2 guys
It's
up
a beauty
there.
pageant?
Well, depending on who you ask.
Oh, that's okay.
But
We're discussing very subjective things here today.
yeah, that's it.
Okay.
But the thing is, they'll leave the top 2 up there.
Yeah.
And then announce the winner, and obviously that's a second place, right? Is that
Yeah.
they do the same thing there?
Yeah, exactly. Or
Okay.
they'll switch off if they're going to announce who the runner-up is. Or at that point, when you're down to 2, whichever name is getting called is the winner. Or if somebody says it's the runner-up, then process of
the winner.
elimination. You're the winner.
Yeah. Huh.
Exactly.
And you were down there this weekend for a wedding.
I was. It was a different area of Atlantic City, but I was down there as far as the different casino hotel.
Okay.
Right. So I was down there for a wedding. It was a very intricate wedding, but super creative. That's what I'm finding, honestly. I think you've been to a few weddings this year.
Yeah,
Right. In the
yeah,
past
yeah.
couple of years, actually. So that they're, as far as what I've seen, they're getting more and more creative.
Yeah, I think they're being more toward what people are getting away from the traditional stuff and being like, I just want to do this.
More outside the
and I don't
box.
give a shit about what anybody thinks. We're going to do it this way.
Absolutely. I think
which
that's
is
just
great.
more the mentality around. Yeah, absolutely. I
So
think
do they get married like right in the casino or the
They got
event
married.
hall or something?
The actual ceremony was in the theater room, because they met as high school students working at a local movie theater. That's how they met.
So it was a movie theater, not a theater. Like
It was a
like
movie,
Shakespeare
correct.
theater.
It was well. They have like curtains and everything. Theoretically, you could put on plays there if you wanted to.
But it has a
It
movie
has a
screen.
pull down. It has a projector, old school,
Oh,
like
wow.
1940s built project. Exactly. Yeah. So it's funny too, because they created 2 videos. There was pre-roll rolling for like 40 minutes while guests were arriving. And it was the whole thing that the bride and groom put together themselves, little snippets of wedding-related like TV show content and movie content.
Oh, that's pretty neat.
It was very cool. Yeah, so
very
let that run, and then they had their own little custom. When you go to the movies and it's a turn off your cell phone message, it's a go to the lobby, grab yourself some popcorn, all the
Yeah,
subliminal
It's usually
advertising.
like with the Coca-Cola with the big swirl and
Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
So
of
they
course.
did that, but they made it all about themselves and their wedding party.
How fun is that?
Yeah, that was really
Wow.
cool.
Are they in the creative world?
Yeah, so he works I believe he works for Facebook now. So he's been working in the social media
Nobody
world for a
ever
while.
heard of that. That's a social media platform.
What if this airs in the future? That Facebook is gone at this point, right?
Maybe.
Who
maybe.
knows?
Yeah, that's true.
You got to
'Cause-
pull on that too.
Yeah. Ooh, that's a good. Hold
is
on,
a
I
good
got
one,
to take
yeah.
those notes. Hold on a second.
Who's that? Go ahead.
But no, that's the thing. Years ago, I talked with a guy, and he's like, "Yeah, because I'm just going to put it on Facebook because it'll always be there." I go, "Yeah, like MySpace."
Yep, exactly.
I go, "This stuff's not. You never know."
No, not at all. Even corporations. Like IBM was huge, and where is it? You know, it's still around.
AT&T.
Dell.
Look at some of that
we could
stuff.
probably go on for hours listing stuff.
Yeah, well,
but-
that's true. We won't waste that.
And you know
but-
what? We're not impeding on any sponsorships, right? If we
No
okay.
sponsorships. At this point, I'm an independent. There are no sponsorships.
Got it. If I say anything bad about Apple, they'll come and get us, regardless, sponsorship or not.
but any publicity is not
good
bad.
for that. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, New Jersey man sued by Apple.
That would
It'll
be
the
fun,
headline,
right?
but-
Hey,
Listen.
that'd be all right. I'd probably get some sponsorships out of that to
Out of that,
support
yeah,
me
just,
to
yeah.
go against the man, right?
Imagine if
I
you
mean,
win, you get a little piece of Apple.
Just give me like 100 stocks.
Yeah.
That's it. I'm good.
Oh, do you know what's their stock
Oh, shit,
currently?
I don't know. I wish I knew, but
I think one share is good enough.
yeah,
right?
yeah, right. Phew.
Yeah.
And then get it at those guys that bought it way back. Same with
Yeah.
But if everybody did it,
It
it wouldn't be.
was Google, right? That,
Well,
like,
Apple did the same thing. You bought it when it
yeah,
first.
like a
That's
couple
with
cents, and then it
Yeah, now it's what? Shit, I don't even know how much per stock. But imagine if it was like.
I'm sure they're
60
doing okay. Yeah, they're doing all
They're
right.
probably all right.
Yeah, they're okay.
The investors and stockholders probably feeling okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll find
But
out.
what do you think when it went down for a day?
That's a day.
Yeah, but imagine how much revenue they lost in one day.
Overall, yeah, if you had it, yeah. I'm sure they were sweating it out a little bit.
Yep. And then another pool I should start.
I was
is
going to say,
the baby boom. 9 months from the day that
that it crashed.
somebody you actually had to talk to your
You had to
girlfriend and
talk to-
wife. Something might have came about
Something,
that.
yeah, so you got to feel better somehow.
Yeah. Speaking of that, my little story of Atlantic City.
Oh, okay. I was going in a different direction. Go ahead.
Yeah. No. No.
Speaking of Atlantic City,
Yeah.
okay.
So I got a buddy of mine, and we were hanging out one night, and we got talking about Vegas, right? And this will come back around to Atlantic City.
Sure.
And he says, and then so you got Vegas, and you got Reno, right?
Yeah.
Over there by Vegas, right?
That's what you're, Reno.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, it was like an hour or so.
Okay. Yeah. So
around there.
he says, this is how I describe the difference, because we were talking about Reno and Vegas.
Yeah.
He goes, this is how I describe the difference between Vegas and Reno. Vegas is 23-year-old woman, gorgeous, everything in the right place, sexy tattoo, beautiful, right? Reno is her older sister. Been around a little longer, tattoos a little worn out, smokes a little, talks maybe a little about this. And then I look at him and I go, and Atlantic City is their mom, right?
Okay. That's, yeah.
Is that fair? You believe that?
That's fair. Yeah, Atlantic City is it's a mix of everything, and it's an odd little area.
It is.
Yeah.
Where do you think the downfall of Atlantic City was?
I think they didn't
Or is.
realize. Yeah, I think they didn't realize that gambling isn't a draw as it used to be, because you can go gamble anywhere now, literally, like in your living room.
Oh, like online? You
Online,
think online
yeah.
took that much away
Part
from
of it, but I also think there's other areas you can go that are newer and more established now, and more family friendly.
Yeah,
There's
that's
not a
a
lot
big
to
thing.
do in Atlantic City outside of the casinos, right?
Yeah. I mean, you walk outside the casinos and it's
Yeah, it's
There's
just
nothing.
it's weird. I mean, it's not. Let's be honest. It's not the best beach, right?
Right,
The
yeah.
great beach area.
Right.
As far as family
and
entertainment.
you can't safely walk down the boardwalk at 11 o'clock at night.
No, I mean,
Atlantic City.
I've done it. Like it's not. It depends.
Well, you and I can, but you're not going to take a family's not going to take
family.
it.
Yeah, It really depends on what you're there for. To be quite honest, like if you're there for a conference, you can get away with not really leaving your hotel for a while.
Yeah.
If you're there to like
That's
enjoy
what the
time
hotel
with your
wants
family.
too. They want you to
Oh
be there the
yeah,
whole time.
stay there and gamble. That's why.
Yeah.
And I hate. I think we've talked about this. I absolutely hate. I don't care what sponsorships we lose out of this one.
No, yeah.
But I don't like hotel casinos because like you can tell me that there's a non-smoking area,
Ugh.
but
Yeah.
it travels. I'm not a smoker. I don't like the smoke. I
Well,
don't like when
I'm a poker player, and the poker room
it's just
always
there
not,
all the time, right?
No, it's not smoking. Poker rooms are not smoking.
Great, but it travels. That's not how air works. Like it
Yeah, well,
still
no, I
stinks. Yeah.
totally get that, but
Yeah.
no, I haven't been unless it's some like old casino down
Mm-hmm.
like in Vegas or something. But even down at Atlantic City, like just use the Borgata for an example.
Right.
There's no
So you can honestly tell me when you're sitting at the poker table, you feel like there's no smoke around
unless
you?
some guy comes in that just smoked a pack of cigarettes and sits next to me and I can
Is it
smell
like in a bubble? Because those.
No, but you ever see? No, the way it's laid out, it's like in the very back corner.
I mean, yeah, but it's still. I just feel like.
And then the sports book's right next door, and you
Yeah.
can't smoke in the sports book.
But from the time that you actually walk in from the door to get to the
give
back, then you're
totally.
yeah.
I totally get it. I
Okay,
totally get
then
it.
you're
I
probably
worked in-
just accustomed to the smell and you
maybe
think it's not
maybe,
there. Okay,
maybe. Well, the other thing too is I worked, in the bars forever back in the day.
that's true. Yeah,
And that was a big thing when the smoking went
immune
away.
to it, right? Yeah.
I mean, I remember like getting up in the morning, afternoon, from working the night before, and picking up my clothes to wash them. Couldn't even. You just gag.
I was gonna ask you that. So even when you're at the poker table and you go back home,
No,
right?
no.
And you,
I can honestly tell you, I don't smell like smoke.
really?
Yeah, yep.
When you're back home, when you like dry
Especially
clean the clothes.
especially in Vegas. Those they're pretty tight. 'Cause
Vegas,
they-
I feel like is a little bit better.
Yeah, Atlantic City. I don't know. I just no. Like I come home and like Val, my wife Val, she's like, she tells me I smell like the casino because a casino has a smell to it.
Is that her nice way of saying you smell like smoke?
No, but it's not smoke though. It has that like perfumed air.
Oh, to mask the smoke.
But okay, perfect.
that's fine.
Yes,
Okay.
maybe that's what it is. Yeah,
Got it.
But I mean, it's like drinking, right? And smoking. That's what they do. But you're
No,
saying
I
that-
get why they do it. Because if you're smoking, you're not leaving the premises. You're inside gambling
Oh,
more.
so you're saying though, for the people that sit at a slot machine,
Yeah.
to keep them there,
Yeah.
they keep smoking.
I'm
Yeah, of course.
pretty sure that's why. Because
Of
if you
course.
leave the premises, then you're not gambling, right? And that's
course.
their business.
Yeah, and-
I
yeah,
get
right.
it from a business perspective.
Yeah. It doesn't slow
That's
anybody
great.
down from
If I
going
can
there.
figure out a way to keep people from leaving the room during your wedding, I don't want you leaving the room. I don't care if you
good.
have to go to the restroom. Just stay in the get on the
good.
dance floor.
Good luck with that, dude.
That's fine. We'll figure it out. Just got to keep them entertained.
Yeah, well, that is
What's
true.
the, are
That
you
is
not
true.
entertained? Was that Gladiator?
Was it Gladiator? No. I think
guy comes
yeah.
out, "Are you not
Are you
entertained?"
not entertained?
Yeah.
Oh, first I jumped to Achilles,
Possibly. Yeah.
but I think it was Gladiator.
yeah.
Yeah,
One
I
of
just-
the
yeah,
period pieces. Is that fair enough to call it a period piece?
It's a stretch, but we'll call it a period
That's fine.
piece.
Okay. All right. Non-fiction or a fiction period piece.
Fiction period
Yeah.
piece. Yeah. So TV shows you're binging?
Not really binging anything right now. We're in wedding season, so it's hard to binge anything. I am, and I don't know if we ever talked about this. My music listening and TV watching habits are that of like a 70-year-old man. So
Really?
yeah.
Do you like listen to Sinatra and like
I do
big
funk,
band
like
music?
Funk. No, that's
Funk?
That's more. Like if you're doing big band, you're 90 something.
Really?
I mean, look, I do like big band, right? And I think you do probably as well. You just seem like a Sinatra guy, though. He's a little after big band. First of all, who's not a Sinatra guy?
I was just gonna say.
Yeah, he's
So
pretty
an
dope.
interesting music fact that I like to throw out there since we're talking about that
Yeah, what do you got?
is years ago I was listening to a radio morning show and fuck God knows where, and they talked about a survey that was done that the only person in history of music that can cross genres and nobody gets upset, who do you think that is?
Cross genre, meaning as far as
Like if
to
you're
create the music or like
No,
being
no.
sampled?
so if you're at a like if you're at a nightclub or a certain type of club and they're playing a certain music,
You can cross over genre.
who do you think that is?
I mean, recently I'd say like Lady Gaga could do that.
Oh no, go back.
Go back. Why is it? I mean, we were talking about Sinatra just now.
Yeah,
so-
I don't know, quite a little after Sinatra, but he's actually labeled a country music singer.
Is it Elvis?
Nope,
Country music. What you got?
Johnny Cash.
Really?
They said you could be at a punk nightclub, just loud as shit, going like hell, everybody having a good time, and they could play Ring of Fire and nobody get mad.
I can kind of see that because
You
he's
could
like
be at a Metallica concert, and at an intermission they play a Johnny Cash song, and everybody be like, "Yeah."
you know what
it's
that is?
Johnny
I think
Cash."
that's just like mutual angst. Because really, at the end of the day, everybody, people-wise, everybody's the same. So
Okay.
I think that's just angst. Like, just you gotta like, if people are in that mood of like, I gotta get out of my system. He's that guy.
That's a
right?
good, yeah.
Like, if
That's
you're
a good analogy.
If you
Never
like
heard
punk,
that before.
if you like hip hop, whatever, it's all just teen angst, basically.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what they make their money on.
But the other thing too is like, do you think there's anybody else that could get away with that? Maybe a little bit nowadays, But back,
I
I heard this stat probably 15 years ago.
Do you
So
think
it
it's
was a
more
little
the artists
tighter.
or more the people now? Because I think it's just people are more eclectic now. They tolerate.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Back when I heard it,
Right.
it was like bigger because you're like, holy shit.
That's
really?
interesting. Yeah,
But
yeah.
nowadays, I think people are more accepting.
Right.
I think you could play just about anything anywhere, and people would be like, what?
I mean, I think a big part of that is just sampling. Because I grew up on old school hip hop. Like I say old school, but I mean, I grew
What's
up on
old-
hip hop.
wait,
It's just
wait,
unfortunately
old
old school now.
What's old school hip hop? What's
to me, old school hip hop, personally to me, because I like hip hop, that's like all the way back. That's like Busy Bee and DJ Kaz and stuff like that. But that's
what year was that?
that's
See,
like,
I'm totally
that's
unfamiliar
like
with that stuff.
early to mid '80s. But that's if you ask a person now, old school hip hop, it's Biggie. It's mid '90s. right?
Okay, I would go with that.
Yeah,
I would go with that.
and that's fair either way. But I mean, realistically, what does old school mean? It just means prior to whenever you feel comfortable
well,
saying it.
yeah,
It's not yet current.
yeah, everybody's got a different
Definition of it.
of old school.
Right.
Absolutely.
But I think in terms of like, if you listen to Dr. Dre or Snoop Dogg, right? I want to say
who hasn't?
80 or 90, right? 80 or 90% of Dr. Dre's first album was samples of like George Clinton in Parliament. And most people don't realize that because they only listen to Dr. Dre, but if they just go back and
little
discover
bit.
the fact, yeah.
You think he was more obviously,
Yeah,
an
and
influence.
You think Puffy Puffy samples like 99%, if not 100% of everything.
Oh wow, that's interesting. I never put any of that together.
But
I wasn't a hip hop guy.
And that's the thing. If you get more into that, you start to realize what they've sampled, and then you get more into that music. That's kind of how I got into that like 70s and 80s funk, because it's just
So
like, the
you
stuff they
went back
sampled.
from that. So like you're listening to Biggie and all that, and then
Yeah.
you're like, oh my god, that sound like this,
Yeah.
and kind of reversed engineered it.
I mean, yeah, Notorious B.I.G. Notorious, like the song Notorious, it's a Duran Duran sample. Right? So that's, yeah, it goes across the board. And I think hip hop is contributing to that, like, oh, it's across the board now. It's a little bit more eclectic. I'm not saying it's the reason. I just think it's a contributor to it.
Yeah, yeah.
And I just think now, because music is so much more accessible, you would go in, like, let's say in the 70s or 80s, you'd go into a record store, you'd go into the section
That you liked, right?
You'd go, I go to the rock section or whatever.
Right. I'd go to the country section. You go to the hip hop section.
Exactly.
So maybe that's where a little bit ahead of that was, or going into the future from that was why that Johnny Cash stat works,
Yeah, probably.
right? And now there's probably more artists that because people
Yeah.
are more acceptant of different kinds of music.
And also the collaborations, right? You have like Kid Rock collaborating with
now you're talking, dude.
there you go.
Kid Rock.
You got what, Kid Rock and Nelly, and you got I don't want to bring up Limp Bizkit, but whatever that was for a while, whatever they were doing, it worked for a few years, and
Right.
they made it work.
How about a favorite of mine in the gym is Kid Rock and Machine Gun Kelly.
Okay, yeah,
You know that one, right?
yeah, that makes sense, and it works.
That was a good song. Or
Yeah.
That is a good song. What was
Country
I
and
saying?
hip hop actually work really well together.
Yeah, who was the country rap? Who got that started? Was it Jason Aldean?
I want to say like was it Big and Rich? Is that one?
Was he before? Were they before?
I want to say they were before Al.
Those are really nice. They were really nice guys. I met them guys a couple times.
Yeah, are they tall dudes? They
The
really
the one guy's tall.
The one guy's tall.
Yeah, big, obviously.
Okay. Right.
Super nice guys. When I met them, they were super nice. My experience with them
Right.
was great. Yeah.
Okay, that's
Obviously,
cool.
everybody's got their own experience. With,
Of course.
with people.
Yeah.
So, what the hell was I going to
Everybody's
ask you
different on a
about?
different day too.
What's that?
Everybody's different on a different day. So
Absolutely.
sometimes you might have a
Especially
great
in that.
experience.
I mean,
in that
especially
industry.
in that. Going from one club to the next, and you don't even fucking know what day it is.
Speaking of clubs, while you remember what you wanted to ask, you mentioned the fact that you were working at like restaurants and nightclubs and bars and stuff back in the day. I had a friend.
No restaurants.
No, right? Oh, just bars and clubs.
Yep.
And you just just rotate the floor so they keep drinking.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. I have a friend. He used to DJ back in like the 70s and 80s when you could totally smoke in the clubs.
Yeah, yeah.
And he used to have at that time. He used to have an afro. And so he'd get home, and all the smoke just stays in that afro. And he goes, I either had to
You'd
just
like
like
lay
cut it.
down and puff out, probably.
Yeah, and he's like, I literally had to wash my hair like every night
That's
to get
nasty,
the
dude.
smell out. Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
also, it becomes part of your speakers. It becomes part of your equipment.
Yeah, dragging that stuff around.
Yeah, you're going from bar to bar where they're smoking, or club to club where they're smoking, and it's just like, I don't know how people did. But people smoked on planes and in doctor's
Well,
offices.
yeah. So go back to the plane thing. I always thought was funny was they had one smoking seat
Yeah, did they?
in the back of the plane.
That was
You know,
before my
to a okay, say get rid of smoking in a plane, right?
Right.
But you have you know, on podcast quotations.
Oh, okay.
A smoking
That's
section.
what that is.
A smoking section on a plane is one seat in the back of the plane.
I didn't know
Now,
that.
how the fuck? Not now they don't.
I didn't know that was ever a thing.
Yeah, I was on plenty of planes with that, and I was like, going back to your casino analogy.
Yeah.
How the fuck are you going to put somebody in the back of the plane in one seat, and that person would rotate because other people wanted to smoke?
Yeah.
Where the fuck's that air going? You're in a tin can.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, just air travels. Like, how do we not, from a company that actually literally travels in the air, you would think that they know how air works. And
That is true.
Yeah.
We got this big tin can to fly at 700 miles an hour, but we're going to put a smoking seat in the middle of the
Yep.
plane.
I didn't know
But
that.
that'd be
I
okay.
figured when you say no smoking, you'd go all in.
Well, obviously now they are.
But I just figured that was the logic. But like, it's bad for you and it's bad for people around you. So what we're gonna do is we just say one person
So
per
you can
plane.
do it at a time, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And I think that was to curb anxiety and curb like
In terms of when people fly.
no people get because it's an addiction, right? So if you don't have it, you
Oh,
get all
you gotta go
you get all
crazy?
pissy and shit.
I
So I
guess,
think
but
it's
can't last
I
a
don't
couple
know.
hours.
That's a total grasp in the air for me. I was just thinking that.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
get somebody from like United on here
No.
on
I'm
the
good.
podcast and see if we can have a conversation.
No, I'm good. Yeah,
Okay.
no.
All right.
United treat. Yeah, I don't know. I don't.
Be careful.
flying,
We need
so-
sponsorships
Yeah,
here.
yeah. Flying though, I mean, flying's no big. People complain about it, you know, bitch. But I think they bitch about everything else in their life.
Yeah, everybody does. But I heard that statistically, I think you're more inclined, like 10 times over, to be in a car crash than you are to have anything happen to you in the air.
Well, that's his numbers. Look how many people fly, right? So if
Well,
you're
that's
doing
fair.
the math,
Yeah,
right?
that's fair.
But the other thing too is my saying with when people start throwing out stats like that, I go, if you hide under your bed, you're just gonna fucking fall on you one day.
That's true too.
You know, come
yeah.
on, man, go out and live. You got to live
Correct.
and experience things, right?
Yep, absolutely.
One, I do have two monster pet peeves about flying.
Okay, wow.
All experience I've ever had flying, if my wife and I get on we go to travel. It drives me nuts that everybody lines up to get on the plane
Yeah. Instead of just sitting in your seat.
and just be like, the fucking plane ain't going nowhere, dude. You got a seat. But I figured out why.
It just makes them feel better.
Nope.
It makes them feel like they're going somewhere.
Nope.
What do you got?
That the airlines charge, for luggage and all that.
Right.
So they get in line really fast with all their luggage. So they plug up the overhead
bins.
compartments.
Yeah.
So they want to get in line so they can fit all their overhead, all their
maybe.
luggage. That's my theory.
That's a good theory.
Yep.
Because I'm sure people try to sneak stuff on that shouldn't be
all
on
the
there.
time. Well, yeah. Humans will always do that.
Of course.
And then the other one
So
is
you bring a garment bag with you. That's what I do.
what?
You bring a garment bag, and then you just ask them to hang it in the little closet they should have up there.
yeah. Some of the planes between first and coach, they have that little
Some
slot.
don't. Very few don't, but some don't. Then you got to put in the overhead. But it's a garment bag, so it's just what do you got? A couple suits in there. You can just shove it in.
Yeah. We try to travel really light.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other thing we do too is like a backpack.
Mm-hmm.
And then we just pay for the check the bag. It's so much less stress walking around with no bags, just a backpack with. We got really good advice from our travel agent. Well, we hired a lady to put our honeymoon together. This a couple of years ago.
Nice.
Right?
Yeah.
And she says, go real light on your carry-on, but carry like change your clothes and like your toothbrush.
So you don't.
Quotations, toothbrush, right? So like
Right.
so basically a small, what do you call it? What's the bag there? The little bag with all your toiletries.
Oh,
in it.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
In case your luggage gets lost.
That's
because
a
we were
good point.
traveling overseas. So
Right.
she's like,
That's a good point.
so now at least you have a change of clothes and you can brush your teeth.
Right.
If you get stuck
You
somewhere.
have your amenities. Yeah.
You're right. But other than that, she goes, fuck, ship everything else.
Yeah. That's a good
Don't
point.
drag that stuff all over the place. I
Right.
mean, if you're spending $10,000 on a trip, what the hell's another $35 to check your luggage? Come
Right.
on, dude.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, and then the other pet peeve is when the plane lands.
The clapping.
Oh, Yeah, no.
Is that a third one?
No,
we just
yeah,
discovered?
maybe.
Okay.
Everybody stands up.
Yeah, to go out, get out quicker. That's what I think.
Well, how the fuck you can get out quicker?
Oh, if you're not.
There's one day out. There's one door out.
Because people are insane.
Well, I'll agree with you.
I think it's group think. I think it is like when they see a guy or somebody stand, they see a man or woman stand, and they're like,
the one person standing.
Exactly, it becomes a domino effect. It's like, well, if they're doing it, I need to do it.
Good point.
I don't know.
Never
maybe
looked at it that way. But it's just like
you like being contrarian though, like I do.
Huh?
You like being contrarian. I do as well.
Yeah.
Like if somebody's doing something, I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna do that.
But look at it and be like, why the hell are you doing that?
I'd rather not do that.
Yeah.
Because
plus 2 is what?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, no, I'm the same.
To your point, we're not going anywhere until
the door
somebody
opens.
gets out.
And the lady even said on the thing,
"Oh yeah, don't get
please
out.
wait, please be seated until the door opens." Fuck no, dude. Everybody stands up, and it's like now you're all crooked. You're standing up and you can't.
Oh yeah,
you can't fit,
because
right?
it's because it's low.
You know,
yeah.
But anyway, those are my 2 pet peeves about flying. Everything else,
I like that. Yeah, I don't. We touched upon it a little bit. The clapping. I'm up in the air about the clapping every day. I feel a little differently about it. On the one hand, it's ridiculous. Why? Well, on the other hand, okay, you want to show the pilot some respect. I guess that's
well, I
a way
always
to do
think
it,
when the landing, they stick a pretty tough landing, and everybody claps. I'm like, all right, I'll go with that.
Right.
You know, we landed in Costa Rica one time, and I was like, I thought we were done. It
Really?
bounced
Is that
and
rough?
slid sideways and all that shit, and I was just like, what the fuck? But
I was flying
obviously,
back.
I'm still here.
I was flying back when we're glad you are, and I want to touch upon Costa Rica. There's some Pura Vida stuff you got for us. But I was flying back from Mexico, and it was bumpy, right? And then I had a woman next to me and her daughter, like an adult daughter, so they were both adults. It wasn't like a child. And there was a little bit of turbulence, a little bumpiness, and then they're kind of like freaking out. And she turns over to me and goes, "Oh, are you used to this?" And in my head, I'm like, no, but you screaming doesn't make it that much better for any of us.
Yeah, I was just going to say.
Yeah.
It goes back to what you said. Everybody stands up. She starts screaming out, panics everybody else.
Yeah.
Oh, that reminds me. What was it? The movie, airplane movie. Tom Hanks played the dude that landed the plane on the Hudson. Sully.
Okay.
Sully?
Yeah, that sounds about right. I don't know if that's the name of the movie, but that's exactly who he played.
Yeah, I think it was the name of the movie. It was Sully.
That makes sense.
Amazing movie.
Okay.
Crazy good movie. I love that movie. But, and of course, Tom Hanks is.
Yeah,
It's Tom Hanks.
Jack of all trades.
Yeah,
He can
right.
do whatever he wants. Yeah, him and Denzel could do basically whatever they want.
And I'm a big, TikTok motherfucker. The guy who basically coined the word motherfucker.
Oh, Samuel L. Jackson.
Samuel L.
I think
Jackson.
that's exactly the clue that you that needed to be said to get that. Okay.
Well, which is true, right?
Yeah, that's fair.
yeah.
I think he'll be pretty proud of that. Yeah.
Yeah. He would probably hold that. Did you see on my social media with the cologne?
No.
What?
When did you put that?
Oh,
I haven't been on social media in like 3 days.
Oh, it was way
Because of the
before
wedding.
that. Hold on a second. Let me. And then we'll describe it to the people listening. But
Sure.
you know, obviously.
Well,
go on my social.
while you're doing that, tell me about Costa Rica, because I've personally, shamefully, have never been yet, and I've heard ridiculously amazing things. And they're always on the top of like the happiest countries to reside in list for like 20 years straight or something.
It is.
I
I just think our money goes a lot farther down there, so it makes you happier.
maybe,
It's cheaper. No, we go.
but it's just like
we go to
a paradise, isn't it? Though, like just warm and nice, and everybody's friendly.
Yeah, because they want your money.
Okay, that's fair.
So we drive. I have nothing but great experiences with Costa Rica, so I'm not down
Right.
it at all. But
right.
when we travel, we go with a group of people, and it's kind of like a retreat and all that. But we go
Gotcha.
up in the mountains,
Okay.
and we stay at a resort.
Well, what are the mountains of Costa Rica? Is it 72 degrees?
Yeah, no, it's still warm.
still really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not up in the snow or anything
Right,
like that.
right.
But you're not. But the thing is, and you can disagree with me, or you can give me your opinion. When you say Costa Rica, the first thing people think of is a all-exclusive resort on the beach.
Probably. I mean, I know people out there that just own property there, and they go there a few times a year.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it's probably in that area where it's just like a resort
Right.
type
So
of thing.
that's
or
why
like a
I always-
timeshare or something.
Yeah, so that's why I always say,
Wait, best foot forward, just like everything else.
yeah, just be like,
they're
hey,
gonna
I'm in the
advertise their
mountains.
best.
I'm in the mountains.
Okay.
So it takes us a couple hour bus ride to get up the mountains. It's a working horse ranch. So we ride horses and swim in the river, and
Nice.
of course I chase my wife around. What's
Right.
what can be better than chasing your wife around a jungle?
It's
So here's this.
whatever you guys are into.
Yeah.
As long as she's the game.
www. There's a website for that. So
boy.
here's this picture of Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah.
And describe it to what you see there.
I'm gonna have to describe
Yeah,
this.
go ahead.
A fragrance by Samuel Jackson. Yeah, and that's got his phrase that we talked about.
Motherfucker.
There you go. Yeah, I gotta keep the
You don't
professionalism
swear,
intact. Of course I do.
You can swear,
That's
it's
fine.
okay.
No, you gotta
Okay.
at some
All
point
right,
you
so
gotta keep. There's a brand and there's an image here.
Okay, so hold on. I got to put my little bet down here. I'm gonna get.
What's it gonna take for him to?
I'm gonna get Artem to swear by the end of the podcast.
What's funny though, because obviously I'm talking into a microphone, so my inclination is never curse on a mic.
Well, see, but
I know
you're
I'm not
not
at an
it's
event.
your business.
I understand. I'm not at
And
an
I know
event.
you have to hold up your end of the, your logo and your
Yeah.
brand and all
Absolutely.
that. But I don't think your clientele would be mad if you were describing Samuel L. Jackson saying motherfucker.
Right. No, I possibly that's fair. It depends on
I'm
who's.
trying, man. I'm
I
trying.
understand. You might get it. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
So what's in store? Oh, actually, I wanted to bring up. Hang on, I gotta get it here. I had Mr. Dan Exter on here the other day.
Dan, yeah.
So that
Former 93 Entertainment groom.
yes, and client of GBH.
That's true. Yeah. That's true. Yeah.
So here's the flyer.
Thank you.
Obviously, you know everything you need to know about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So he gave you great cahoots. He loves you to
wow.
death.
Okay. Likewise.
He's an amazing dude, man. He's just so
unbelievable.
dynamic.
Him and his whole story and just everything. Yeah.
The other, his wife Dana is just.
Yeah.
There's no words to explain.
No,
you can't-
powerhouse couple. Like,
Yeah,
they're ridiculous.
absolutely, crazy good.
And the
people.
thing is, you know what? Like, not everybody knows their story, and I don't know how much we want to touch upon it.
yeah,
but,
they can go back to episode whatever it's going to be, but it's under
Right.
Dan Exter. So,
yeah. Well, I don't know if he mentioned it or not. I'll
yeah, we
touch
went.
upon it a little
Yeah,
bit.
no,
but,
we
like,
went. He
went into-
described it, and it was.
to do what she did in the time, that it kind of all happened for them.
Yeah, right.
That's
Because
yeah.
I thought they were not. I knew they weren't married when it was going on, but I
No.
thought they were like deep in a relationship. They
Right.
were new in a relationship
Yep.
when that all happened.
Yeah.
So that
It's a
was
good.
great.
It's
It's a
you
good
never
feel-good
wish that,
story.
but it's definitely a good test to see how committed someone is
Yeah,
to you.
yeah.
It's
Well,
not a test anybody should endure, but he did, unfortunately, and I mean he made it through, which is fantastic.
Yeah, yeah.
But the fact that relationship made it through, because sometimes you can't say like let's just outweight this and see what happens. Kind of, it's not fair to a person.
Right.
But yeah, she's a trooper, and they're when I say power couple, that's a power couple.
Yeah, they're great too.
Yeah.
So nice, and
Yeah.
obviously I supported it 100%.
Are you playing again?
Oh yeah. Well,
Okay. Was that
well,
some-
playing is a little hard.
that's okay. You're participating.
Participating.
That's
Thank
fine.
you.
I thought you were
I
gonna pull some
would
sort
rather.
of fake injury now.
Oh no, fake injury. No, it's it's a great event. I like to go support it.
Nice. Speaking of which, I recently found out that I physically am no longer 18 years old. We had a really nice day a couple weeks ago. Let me finish.
Okay. I'm giving him a weird face.
It was a weird setup, but it gets better.
Yeah.
So we had a really nice day a couple weeks ago.
Who's we?
The area we live in, because it was sunny.
I
It was
thought there
warm and
was.
sunny.
I thought there was like you and
weather-wise.
You didn't have a mouse in your pocket. You were.
No, weather-wise.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay.
We as a collective, society. Our area had a very nice weather day, right? And that's, a nice surprise sometimes,
Yep.
especially depending on which season you're in. But I went out and there's a lake that I run around, and there's a basketball court there. And it happened to be at like the same time that like the high school kids were getting out.
Yeah.
So there was like a couple of high school kids out there playing like a pickup game. And I joined, and I realized I could not keep up with, like, you get winded. If you don't play basketball regularly, and what I mean by that is like on a daily or semi-daily basis,
Yeah.
you get winded because it's not like when I run around the lake, it's a run, right? It's not a sprint.
It's not a stop and go.
It is.
Like any
Basketball, you're
sport.
constantly sprinting, though. It's just
Yeah.
a sprint back and forth.
And what I believe, you sprint, right? But it's the launch that gets you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. You're just going.
Yeah, definitely. It's like, what was it, a hit? a high intensity
Oh,
interval
yeah,
training,
yeah,
whatever. It's hit for like an hour,
Yeah, right.
basically. Like however long you can last on a basketball court. And yeah, like it didn't get to a point where they said, "Are you okay, mister?" But they gave me that kind of look. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, they stopped passing it to you, and
No, it was just to a point where I'm like, all right, I get it.
yeah, and I know you're working the layups for life thing.
Yeah,
but
I'll continue to. It's an amazing.
so I
thing
joined a
together.
basketball league.
Did you?
Starts in next month,
The basketball season.
and I'm short a dude.
Oh boy.
No pressure.
All right.
A little bit of pressure.
Keep me posted.
But no pressure.
I,
I'm holding you on the spot right now. No.
oh, give me days. Give me details. You got to give me some details.
It's once a week, Thursday night. We'll talk offline, but
Sure.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
right in Montclair,
Okay.
New Jersey.
Gotcha.
A friend of mine asked me to play, and I was just like, you know what? It's just fun to get out there and bounce around, and it's not like super competitive or anything. It's just a bunch of guys getting together.
If you need like a Dennis Rodman type of guy, where you just need him
That's
to.
why I'm calling you, dude.
Yeah. Like if you need somebody to, come in.
I thought you could fill that spot.
Anybody to come in the last like 4 minutes of a game, you just need like 6 quick fouls.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
That's you? No, that's my spot.
That's your
what I
spot.
do.
Okay.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
No, but it's
I can lock a guy down until they realize you can figure me out quickly if you just put somebody on me that's a foot taller.
I understand that.
Tall dudes, tall guys in this.
No. It's 100% total recreational. Just
You've done the tournament, danced obviously the Layups for Life tournament.
Yeah.
There's a team that comes out every year from like Harlem or something. They're so committed. It's amazing.
Oh,
and like,
that's awesome.
And there's like 3 cousins, and like I started talking to them the first year, and they're like, yeah, we just Googled basketball tournaments, and we found
then
this
go
one.
to 'em?
Yeah, and they just go to them and play.
Oh,
Like,
well,
I think,
hey, how fun
I think
is that, though?
one guy's like I think he played in college, and the rest of them are just his cousins.
Yeah,
Basically,
yeah,
just
yeah.
like to play basketball.
Do you remember that in the Layups for Life tournament? Remember that one family that caused a bunch of trouble?
Yes.
That was, yeah.
Was it? I think it was just. Was it a family or just like one guy and then like I
if
guess
you
the
looked at 'em,
brothers?
they're all Yeah, but the thing is, like with these things, that's what gets me.
Well, can we clarify? They didn't really cause like nothing. It didn't impede on the tournament. It was just you get heated. Things get heated
That's
in a
exactly
basketball
right.
game. You know,
But it
in
wasn't. But the other thing too is it wasn't one time. They just kept doing it. And it's like, come on, guys.
We'll
you
say
know this.
this,
We're
it-
here for charity.
Yeah, at
The
a
Knicks-
nonprofit basketball tournament.
The Knicks ain't in the stands looking to recruit you.
Yeah,
Just
exactly.
Relax.
There's no
man.
scouts here.
Yeah.
I think just people have different levels in competitiveness, and sometimes it takes over, which I
sure.
get. You know, I
Yeah, of
understand
course.
it, but then pull back a little bit. At some point, we're all adults, and you got to be like, listen, I got to act like an adult here.
Yeah.
So I think it was just more nothing impeded on the tournament. So I don't want anybody to think that.
No.
it's something that,
Well, the thing is, that's the first thing I tell everybody is, it's not for teams on a playground. I go, this thing is run extremely well.
correct. Yeah,
It's crazy how well it's run.
they've got it down to a science.
And like you could go, you play 5 games, you can go on site and never leave. They got food, drinks.
Yeah, they've
you
thought of
play.
everything, of
Yeah,
course.
it's just amazingly well run tournament.
Yeah.
But I wanted to bring you up because Dan and I were. You'll have to go back and listen to the episode.
I'm
We were
excited.
giving you a little bit of. He was picking on your pocket square.
That's fine. You can pick on it all you want.
All out of love, man. You know that.
I figured.
Here's a guy that is impeccably dressed. I think I've seen you outside a suit. How long we known each other? 5 years?
At least 5 years. Yeah.
I think I've seen you outside a suit like 4 times.
Okay. I'm flattered that you're counting.
Well, it's just it's like the abominable snowman. It's
I
like
gotcha, okay.
people talk about it, but you never see it.
Can you pinpoint the times?
Well, that one we did you set up that charity run or that.
That's true. Yeah, when we did a run.
I had a
don't know,
bet
yeah.
that you were going to be in a suit.
Just running a suit. Yeah, that's not the most convenient
Yeah,
thing.
but you got brand, dude.
That's
You got a
true.
brand.
That's true.
And then the other one was I know last year at Layups for Life, and Dan and I were talking about you being in a suit.
Yeah.
And he's like, I told Artem, don't come in a suit.
Can we just clarify as far as being in a suit or not, like a full blown? If you have jeans on and you're wearing a suit jacket, that's not a full suit.
Like you are today.
Like I am today. I'm giving you some casualness here.
I am a huge fan of jeans, a sport coat, and a nice shirt under it.
Yeah, me too.
I think nowadays you can get away going just about anywhere level-wise dressed like that. If you have nice
Define
jeans.
level wise. What do you mean by that?
Like if the way you're dressed, well, maybe put a different shirt on.
Yo, I'm giving you this is a nice T-shirt.
Yeah.
It's an undergarment. You're offended by it?
But I'm trying to put it, say, if you had a nice shirt on.
A shirt, yeah. Like a dress shirt.
A button-up shirt on, the way you're dressed right now, you could walk into a CEO's office or a boardroom.
I see what you're saying.
That's what I'm talking
Throw
about.
some cufflinks in there. You run the company.
That's it.
Okay.
Right. And then, or you could be dressed like that and meet somebody at a Panera Bread and not feel out of place.
Sure.
That's why I like the jeans and the sport coat. And I keep my sport coat in my truck.
Nice.
And
You should always have.
I have jeans and nice shoes on and a shirt to work in the office or go meet somebody for lunch. But then if I need to be at a certain place, whoop.
So you're a workout guy. I know that. You have a spare gym bag anytime?
Gym bag's in my truck every day.
Yeah.
Every day.
Yeah.
Every day. Yep. No doubt.
Is that too personal? What's in the gym bag?
Oh, let's see. Let me see.
Are these like spares?
Well, I only have one gym bag.
No, but is this stuff that like you usually have on you, but just in case?
Yeah. So like extra, shorts, shirt,
right,
socks. Working out in dress socks is just, it's happened before.
Really? You've had to, just because.
Yeah, you take a picture of that and you're like, whoop, forgot socks today. And underwear, couple towels. Usually keep a couple protein bars in there just in case I need a snack.
Do you
pre-workout?
You work out always indoors or you do outside workouts?
I love being outside.
Yeah, same. I carry sunscreen in the gym bag because you never know.
I don't have to worry about sunscreen.
Really?
Yeah. Well, of course you should always wear sunscreen.
Right. Yeah. I guess my lack of melanin. Yeah.
Your lack of
pigment.
Pigment. Yeah. So like where I live, I can go. It's just shy of 3 miles to my gym.
Okay.
And I cut up through Eagle Rock Reservation, which is a wooded area between my house and the neighboring town.
Oh, okay.
So it's got running trails in it. People mountain bike. The drug dealers go there. Everybody goes there to cheat on their spouse. It's one of those things in the middle of the city.
Well, there's an endorsement. Yeah.
Yeah. So
we have our first sponsor, probably.
Boom! Eagle Rock Reservation. Come, whatever we have, whatever you need. But I like to run, walk, ride my mountain bike up through there to the gym, work out, and then come back that way.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I like being outside, but as you know, it's
it's not always doable. Of course, yeah. We had a really bad summer last summer because it was just rainy.
Yeah,
it was like. If you count the days and add them all up, we had like 2 weeks of like actual summer.
Sunshine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough. But if you're, I still saw people out there running and
in the rain.
I see
that's commitment. I like that.
Yeah, when I drive, I'll go to work in the morning. I used to work out in the morning.
Yeah. Not
because
anymore?
because my old job, I wanted it. I was like,
control that a little bit more. That's right.
Yeah, but I was like, I'm working so much. Why don't I go into the gym in the morning and then have more time in the evening to spend with my family?
Okay.
Right. So that was kind of
that was the thought process.
I just ended up working more. So I was just like, this is not working. Hence why I don't work there anymore.
Right.
That's a whole other story.
Sure.
But I just like sleeping in, man. I just love it because we have blackout curtains.
Oh, those are nice. Yeah.
It's amazing. Yeah.
I honestly feel like I don't know. There's so much misinformation out there about like exercise and fitness. But I feel like if you're exercising regularly, it doesn't matter when, as long as it's not impeding on your sleep and your nutrition. Then it's like because everybody's a creature of habit, right? Your body craves habitualness.
Absolutely.
So as long as you're doing it fairly at the same time or pretty much at the same time on a consistent basis and it's not impeding on your sleep, like I said, do it whenever you're going to do it. And if you like to sleep in and
then do it at night.
As long as your life works that way, then sure, do it.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, fitness, it's amazing. I used to have judgments on what people did for fitness and stuff, and that was a long time ago, but
sure,
I think as long as you're moving forward and sweating and doing something you enjoy, because if you don't have passion for it, as soon as a little bit
Well,
of
it becomes
resistance,
a chore. Yeah.
huh?
It becomes a chore.
Well,
rather
that
than,
and if it like passion gets you past, I believe that passion gets you past the tough days. If something kicks back to you a little bit, the passion's going to drive you over that. If you don't have passion for it, you run into a little resistance. And you're like, fuck it. I'm done.
that's the best way to find excuses.
Yeah. But if you enjoy it, like that is one thing I am just crazy passionate about. It's being, a mover of iron.
Do you
I
have,
just love being in the gym and slinging iron and sweating and talking shit, and that's what I do.
Well, listen,
Yeah.
You need motivation. The things I was going to ask is, and you kind of, I guess, touched upon it, but like accountability, either an accountability partner or somebody like keeps you in the gym, or
Me?
yeah, like do you have there's nobody at the gym that like, or even Val, that she'll go on a run, you're like, I can't, like she's running out there running, I don't know what she does, like 20 miles a day probably.
Yeah, she's not running much anymore, but she's still extremely active.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, so like then you're just the guy hanging back at the home and just not doing anything.
I guess I've always been just self-motivated for that. I mean, a lot of things in my life, but in the gym, I'm just extremely self-motivated. I don't need. I put my headphones on. And
Are you that like PR guy, like the personal records, see what I can get?
I give a shit about that.
Okay.
I just go in and I work out whatever. I don't have a regimen.
Oh, you don't do like upper body days, lower body days?
I do.
You do? Okay.
But I don't know until I walk in the gym.
Is that more of like what your body tells you, or more
What I'm
just
feeling like? Like, obviously, I'm not going to do back day twice a day.
Well, that's what I was just saying. You do like
Right.
3 days in a row with one. That doesn't sound right.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
So,
okay.
like, to give you an idea, this morning I walked in the gym. I was just like, I'm going to the gym to work out. Had no idea what I was going to do. And it just works for me. As soon as I step in the gym, I'm like, man, back feels
Do you have
good.
some sort of magical gym where no one else is in there? Or you go there at the right time? Because
That's what drives. A lot of times, that's what drives
the
what
early
I'm
morning.
doing. What I'm doing
To see which machines are okay.
So
got
I'll
it.
walk in and be like, okay, there's nobody on the bench, which is hardly ever.
Right.
And I stay away.
That's where people read, right? That's where.
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
I purposely don't do chest on Monday because, as you know, Monday is International Chest Day.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I don't know if I should be okay with that, or I'm pretty okay
Just
with the
you
fact
go
that
to
it
you
is.
go to any gym on a Monday and there's a line waiting to use a bench press.
Oh, that's just more of a.
Because I think a lot of guys are, hey, make
So
my
it's
chest.
Monday,
They gotta
kickstart my week nonsense
Yeah, and of
thing.
course they gotta do chest because they think that's
That's the only thing.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
And one guy says one time to me, he goes, "How do I bench press more?" I said, "Strengthen your core." He goes, "That has nothing to do with my chest."
Oh.
And I'm like, "Oh, dude, all right, I'm done talking to you." It's just like, so yeah, I don't talk. I don't give unsolicited advice. I'm the guy that puts his headphones on, goes in there, just crushes a workout.
See, I feel like that's what you need to do. On the one hand, like I get when sometimes people are just trying to help. Like if I see somebody trying to correct somebody's form, so they don't get hurt. I get that, but unsolicited advice is a tricky thing,
That's
especially when
tough.
you're a guy in the gym.
Yeah, that's tough.
So, and
somebody
I have to
built
tell-
like me, if I come over and start giving you advice, at first I feel you're gonna,
Yeah, I think in
jump
general,
to some
I don't
judgments.
think you should go up to women and start giving them advice because I feel like I think we can admit, both men, right? You and I, in terms of the gym environment, is not super female friendly.
No.
Understandably so.
Yeah, no, it's got a long stigmata. No, what's the word I'm looking for?
Stigma, right?
No, stigma. Sorry. Stigma.
Like a negative connotation.
Absolutely.
Which is totally understandable.
Yep, totally get it. Where it comes from.
Yeah,
Yep.
I feel like if I were a woman, I'd be in the gym, headphones all times.
Yeah, and stare straight ahead.
Stare straight. Yeah.
Not looking.
It's such a
not
terrible
make
thing
eye
to say.
contact
Yeah.
to anybody because
Yeah.
that's just like my wife Val can't stand the gym. Hates it.
Yeah.
Just,
Yeah.
She's just that people aren't.
That's a shame. That's like ridiculous because everybody should feel comfortable when they're in the gym.
They should.
Yeah.
And that. Well, I
You're
think
working on
that's-
yourself. Like that's what it is. You're working on yourself. Don't bother me. Like,
Yeah,
don't-
and
I don't
I
mind
think-
chatting every now and then with somebody like that I know, or like we're keeping one another accountable or whatever it is.
Right,
We're just
right.
catching up with someone, but you're there
not a
for
social
yourself.
club,
It's
man.
not right.
And I think the industry itself has made like really big strides and gains to, like, an example, Planet Fitness. My type of person is not welcome there, and I know that. and I don't go to them.
Oh, because you don't eat pizza on Tuesdays, or you don't?
Is that what it is? Yeah, right.
Is that? I think that's their days.
No,
man.
right, but it's just they gear it more toward being friendly to people that just want overall fitness.
Right. Well, I see what you're saying. They have more like cardio machines, and they have
Like classes and not a lot of weights.
I have to tell you,
the
I
whole
have
lunk
not
alarm.
seen the lunk alarm. I don't know if that's a thing. If that's more like a marketing gimmick.
No.
What'd you do? How'd you get kicked out of? Tell us how you get kicked out of Planet Fitness. Did you get kicked out of Planet Fitness twice?
Twice back in Colorado.
So it wasn't like sir, can you calm it down? You got kicked out.
No, the lunk alarm goes off. It's a yellow light
Right.
on the wall and goes whee.
And what happens? Like that's
and then
your
the staff
they
comes
revoke
over
your membership?
No, they just come over and talk to you. And,
You have
So-
a conversation.
yeah, a story about that is when I was out in Colorado,
Right.
I was working on a World Gym, which is back then. I haven't been in a World Gym since, but back then it was just exactly what I was looking for.
They're
still around, aren't they?
I want to say they are.
South, maybe?
There's definitely one. There was one on 10
Really, they're still around here.
around here, but I don't know if it's still around. I
Okay.
definitely remember it maybe like 10, 15 years ago.
Okay, all right.
But-
So,
Was it the one? The logo was like a big globe, basically, right?
no, was it? Well, there's
Worlds.
yeah, there was then a bar going across it with weights.
Yep.
right.
Yep.
And then there was one with a gorilla, but I think the
Okay.
globe was the big one.
The more
obviously.
the primary. Yeah.
So I was working out there, and I got to befriend the manager, and he's, we're talking one day. He's like, "Hey, man, this location's been sold, and it's turning into this other gym. It's called Planet Fitness, and they're just coming out."
Okay.
And I was like, "All right," and it was like right next to my house. It was so convenient, and I was like, "All right, I'll try it." And he's like, "Be honest with you, man. I'm going to run it as the manager." But man, reading this stuff, I don't know if it's going to be your type of gym. And I'm like, I'll try it.
Right.
And I was a lot bigger back then. I mean, I was probably a third bigger than I am now.
Wow. Okay.
Right? Less body fat too, but that's because you have 25-year-old genes running through, or
Sure.
metabolism. So I get in there, and they don't have any. Again, this is the experience I had, so I don't know what they're doing now.
Sure.
Right.
Or in different areas. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. So they didn't have any 45-pound plates.
Okay.
So your bench press, and they had very few 35-pound plates. So I had to like walk around and steal all the plates from everything and stack the bar, right?
Right.
And then they have a lunk alarm.
I know that. I mean, the plates, the 45 and the 35, I've seen there. So
Okay, so maybe they changed,
but you know what?
but back
it's
then
also
it was...
it's all isn't it all franchisees? It's all franchise run, right?
Yeah, so
So it
maybe
could
some
be-
would...
yeah, it
okay,
could be
make the
different.
point. But again, this is the experience I had.
Sure.
And then the lunk alarm is if you make a bunch of noise, slamming weights and that kind of thing, it goes off like a fire alarm. This
Okay.
yellow light spins around like a fire, like a light.
Yeah, like a siren. Yeah.
Like a siren. And it's a literally siren that, and then they come over and talk to you about slamming weights and stuff. And I'm like, okay, if I'm deadlifting 400 pounds
Right.
and I'm doing
it's
a
gonna be
3x5 set, you bang, pick
It's
it
gonna
up,
happen,
bang,
yeah.
pick it up. And of course, I was like, all right, I get it. And then the second time it happened a couple weeks later, because I would throttle back, but then of course it grows back, and you just
Right.
get back in your routine.
Right.
And then the manager's like, dude, they asked me to just not have you come back.
Oh boy. Oh, so you did get kicked
Yeah,
out.
I did. And I was like, you know what, dude, I get it. I get it. I didn't feel bad. I wasn't offended. I didn't care because it just wasn't a fit for me.
Sure.
And I realized that. So I was
Right.
just like, and I was hanging on to it as long as I could. And I left. And I was like, okay, see you, dude. And I didn't even think none of it.
Yeah, that sounds like something that's like well intentioned, but not fully thought through, in terms of that kind of environment. But you know what? It's to your point. It's about fit. So like, it might not be ideal for someone who's seriously into fitness. I don't want to say seriously into
Well,
fitness, but like,
say like a bodybuilder or
Right.
somebody like that. They're not going to go there.
No,
but they
but they're-
design it for that.
correct.
For
They're
them
not going
to be there.
But that's like
Right.
any other business. Like you need. I'm glad that they have a defined brand, basically.
Well, my
right?
dad growing up would say about a bar, and you could use this analogy for anything, is he says the price of beer is not to bring people in. You price beer not to bring people in. You price beer to keep people out.
Oh, it's a filter.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So if you charge $6 for a bottle of Bud,
Mm-hmm.
you're not going to get a certain clientele,
Right.
right? So same with that. Hey, if we don't have all these weights here, a guy like me ain't going to come around. And
Right.
They don't want a guy like me in there.
Sure. Yeah, that makes
Right?
sense.
So then on the other hand, there's Maui, and my ex-wife and I would travel to Maui a lot, and we would stay in hotels. So I would just use the gym in the
Right.
hotel, in the resort.
I think all hotels call them fitness centers now because I asked.
It's a fucking gym, dude.
I
It's
asked
a
the hotel.
fucking gym. Fitness
I'm
center.
good.
I got your fitness.
I'm
center.
going to be traveling in a couple of weeks, and I asked them.
Where are you going?
I'm going to Florida. It's just a quick trip. But I booked my hotel, and I said, "Do you guys have a gym?" She's like, "A fitness center?" I'm like, "Sure, fine, whatever."
fine.
Yeah. No, we don't. I'm like, "Okay." You could have just said no.
No, yeah,
Instead
I
of
was gonna say, correcting me. Yeah,
and then
yeah.
saying no. Okay. Yeah.
You going down for business or pleasure?
Business. Yeah. So we have a quick conference, and then I'm actually going down, meeting a couple planners down there, event planners.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. Where in Florida?
We're starting off in Palm Beach. No, I'm sorry. We're starting off in Jupiter and then going to Palm Beach. And
Where's
then
Jupiter?
Jupiter's like 20 minutes north of Palm Beach.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just those two are Jupiter and then the Palm Beach?
Yeah, Jupiter to Palm Beach, and then I'm going to go just drive into Fort Lauderdale for the airport.
So you're flying into Jupiter.
Flying, yep, exactly. So wherever the closest, I don't even actually remember it. It's just part of my itinerary.
Yeah, yeah.
But
yeah.
whatever the closest is, and then I'm just going to rent a car down there and go from go from the airport to Jupiter, and then
Right.
go
Palm
to
Springs,
Palm
Lauderdale.
Palm Beach.
Oh,
Palm Beach, and then go up to Fort Lauderdale for the airport. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it'd be a quick
Was
3
it
day.
over the weekend or something?
Yeah, quick 3 day thing. And
Okay.
that's more so just to get those meetings in. I'd be lying if I said I didn't have an eye on Florida a little bit, just because
Well, you want to go down there and
it's the
some
weather.
weather and money.
Yeah, and
I
that's
mean, in
not
your
a,
business,
that's not a bad combo, right?
Yeah, no. I mean, that's the whole reason it brought me back to Jersey from Colorado.
Right.
You know.
I've had the conversations before, and I've been looking at it for a few years now. So
Okay.
it's obviously, like you were saying, like we were doing the gym analogy. It's a different type of clientele, but I think there's parts of Florida where you can find, because we focus on luxury events.
Yeah, yeah.
They're everywhere,
Yeah,
right?
well, yeah,
if you play your cards right.
Yeah, but again, going back to numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Part of the reason I came to Jersey with the business, to help with the business is
Right.
numbers. Look how many people are here.
Yeah.
And then I
Ridiculous amount
found
of
out
people
too,
here.
here's a cool fact. I went to an event, speaking of numbers, Morris County
Mm-hmm.
creates the same amount of income as 5 states.
That sounds about right.
My brother lives up in Vermont, and I told him that, and he didn't believe me.
But
But,
look
dude,
how
you're
many
thinking
big
about-
corporations are in Morris County, New Jersey.
Look at the money coming through here, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I imagine down in Florida, too, the concentration of
Yeah.
per capita is
Yep.
probably a lot better. Well, I couldn't
You know,
say
it's funny
better
'cause
than here. 'cause,
There's
I mean, that's-
nightlife there, right? So it's not private event stuff, but like nightlife is Miami. Then when you get to Palm Beach, you're gonna have private events there. You're gonna get to even Orlando. There's a conference, like there's a convention center there. So there's opportunities there, I believe, and I know people that are already there, right?
So what are you thinking about?
Taking the
Putting
business there.
putting the old steam trunk together and taking it down there, or what?
I don't. No, I would split. Like I'm not even split. I would just do business there because we do destination events anyway. So
Okay.
I would love to hibernate, if you will, down
Yeah.
there in the winters when it's winter up here. And I know it's still winter down there, but it's not nearly as cold.
So what'd you do? What were you thinking? Try to get like a footprint down there, and then eventually move down there.
Listen,
like
if there's
long
event
term?
planners down there that we vibe with, right, and their
Right.
clientele is seeking what we offer, and they're up for it, and they bring us down there, it'd be silly to turn that away.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think and most event planners travel everywhere. So they'd be silly to just stay in one area.
Oh, so you're thinking,
Destination.
well, that and give them a little outage up here as well, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Well, the one event planner I'm meeting down there, we're connecting, and she's actually from New Jersey. So she's back and forth.
Right.
And then I have a meeting at a venue with one of their people there. So it's just, why not? Why would I turn away such an opportunity? Never say never. Like I don't know
of
what
course.
life holds in the next couple of years.
Okay. Well, so if you notice,
Yeah.
we have
Your 8 ball.
everybody should have a magic 8 ball. Do you have a magic 8-ball?
No, I want an 8-ball jacket. Does that count?
You own one?
I want one.
Oh, you want one?
I want one, yeah.
There's a difference between
That's
owning
what I
and
mean.
want one.
I'm pretty sure I can easily own an 8-ball jacket if I really wanted to.
But you want to be like,
I just for like
you want to earn it something like in a contest
maybe
or something.
no.
No?
Like
No?
I know I could easily get it.
go
I don't
on
know how
Amazon.
expensive. Can you find out? Can you just hop online right now?
Yeah, let's see.
Because I feel for me it's more like that Vanilla Ice factor.
Did he own an 8-ball jacket?
I guarantee you Vanilla Ice owned an 8-ball jacket.
outta
I think if
here.
you
Okay,
Google
hold on a
Vanilla
second.
Ice
We're gonna-
8-ball jacket.
No, we're just going to go to the trusty Amazon.
Okay.
This is why I need a production assistant.
Yeah.
Can you help me out here, dude?
You need a producer to
to do this shit
to do
while we're
this.
talking.
Absolutely, you should.
So, now I have to do two things at once.
That's okay.
The old joke. You ever heard a joke? I can multitask.
Mm.
I can talk and piss you off at the same time.
That's rampant these days.
All right, so 8-ball jacket. 8-ball. Wow, men or women?
What do you mean?
Well,
I don't know what you're searching at this point.
8-ball jacket, and then we
Right.
can go in the men
Oh,
department.
men's,
or-
yeah. Unless some lucky lady comes into my life that wants an 8-ball jacket.
Oh, here you go, dude. You ready?
Yeah, a couple $100.
Oh, these are brutal looking, dude.
Oh yeah, they're awful, but they're like
Oh my-
vintage. It's like
Is
it's
it-
just the
is this-
factor of
Can you see this?
I can't.
I don't know. It's hard to do with my setup here.
Yeah, those are exactly it.
That was it right there?
Yeah. So those are like.
God, this
How
is
would you
not
describe
what
it?
This is not what I would expect an 8-ball jacket to look like. I would like this one here.
What would you expect an 8-ball jacket to
Just
look?
black and white.
Oh, like
I didn't expect like the yellow and the it looks like a IndyCar racer jacket.
no. That just
This
basically
one here that's really tight on him.
That's just basically 1992 in an image, right? Is that fair to say?
This one here was like graffiti.
Yeah, which is 1992.
So it's only $29, dude.
Really?
The
Is it?
graffiti one. I think it's a sweater. No, jacket. All right, so this jacket is $100, $20 to ship. And it's the classic looking leather jacket, but it's red and white, and it's got big 8s on the arms and on the back, of course. And then they got like a slim fit one, and they call it a superhero.
Is this your first interaction with an 8-ball jacket? Like this
It
is the first you've
is.
seen? Wow.
Yeah. See,
Okay.
I was more the country style. So
I gotcha. Flannel
jean
shirt.
No,
Oh, jean jacket. Yeah, with the sleeves cut off.
No.
I feel
Flannel shirt with the sleeves cut off.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I feel like every like cartoon bully in the '90s had like a flannel shirt tied around his waist. His name was Spike, probably, and he had like a jean jacket with the sleeves cut off. I'm describing like every stereotypical
I could
bully.
see- he had a spike.
Yeah,
That's what
of
you-
course,
oh,
he had,
yeah,
of course, he had
spike.
spiky hair. Yeah,
Yep. And bad breath and a
Probably.
tooth missing or something.
something like that. Yeah.
So, vanilla ice
Yeah.
8-ball
8-ball
jacket.
I would be shocked if that image doesn't exist.
Really? So you're thinking,
Are you on Google?
yeah.
So does it not autofill when you say when you type in Vanilla Ice 8-ball jacket?
Oh my
Yeah.
God. Are
Yeah.
you, dude.
I don't even need to look at your screen. I just know what it is. It's
The
got-
one, I think this is the cool as ice, and it's the,
oh, is it the promo poster for Cool as Ice? The
no.
movie starring Vanilla
Well,
Ice?
no, it's the original motion picture soundtrack. And
Yeah.
it's him leaning on this bike with this fucking pants, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Dude. And of course the girl looks like a preppy girl with a jean jacket and all that,
They come from different worlds, Walt.
well, that's of course, yeah. Oh, that's amazing. 8-ball. All right, so
Why do we get into? Oh, the 8-ball that you have
because
on your
my
desk.
8-ball on my desk. All right, so what we got to do is go to the trusty 8-ball to see if Artem is going to move to.
Is that
is
we're
gonna-
making business decisions
Yeah,
here?
yeah. Well, yeah. All business decisions should be made with an 8-ball.
Okay. I can't even argue that because who knows?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So, what question do you want to ask? If you're going to move to Florida?
Is this just a yes or no?
No,
8-ball?
basically, there's a few other answers in here, but
Fine. Yeah. I don't know. However you want to phrase
what
it.
do you want? What do you want to ask? Give me a question.
A yes or no question?
Yeah.
About Florida?
Oh, anything.
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 Wow.
Come on, man. Fuck Florida. Figure out what else you got. Give me.
That's like a really broad type of thing to just put out on the table.
Something
then.
that you. So when you're laying in bed at night and you're staring at the ceiling and you want an answer to, what question do you have? Not what you're going to wear tomorrow, because it's going to be a suit.
Which suit am I going to wear tomorrow?
Oh, see, that's not a yes or no question. So.
Wow.
Getting deep here, man. Get the shovel out. It's getting deep.
Okay. Wow. I don't know. Like it's just such.
You want to stick with Florida then? Is it easy enough? Right?
Yeah, it's just I can't even think of anything right now. I think
All right,
I think as we go along,
okay.
I think we need
All
it's
right,
a yes or no question.
So we're going to ask the 8-ball if.
Well, how about this? Will this upcoming trip be fruitful in terms of like
Okay,
will it lead to anything in business wise?
So the question is,
Will the upcoming trip to Florida
be fruitful for Artem? Upcoming
Florida trip
be fruitful for Artem, and yes, definitely.
Okay, that's good.
That's
is that fair? Are you actually reading what's on there? Or are
Absolutely.
You just trying to
No,
make it
you
sound
can't
better
lie
for
about the
podcast?
8-ball.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
good,
yeah,
good.
that's integrity.
And
dude.
honestly, if it said no, I would just said fine. I'll just prove the 8-ball wrong. That's a challenge.
No, 8-ball says it's going to be
Great.
So now you got to prove it right.
That's true. Okay, that's fair. I can't embarrass the 8-ball now.
God, don't be embarrassing the 8-ball.
No,
dude.
can't do it.
Oh, yeah.
Are you that kind of guy too, by the way? Like,
what?
If somebody tells you you can't do something,
God,
you're gonna
don't tell
prove
me I can't do it.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're on the same
Same
field there.
I'll like. Yeah.
Why?
That's
like,
not. That wouldn't be.
are you-
That wouldn't be healthy for me or you.
No, you. I want to actually bring this up because I've had this conversation multiple times with a variety of people. So you're a sibling, obviously. You're a younger.
Youngest
sibling?
of 5.
Oh, well, that's why. That explains it.
Well,
the competitiveness.
Yeah, absolutely.
I feel like younger siblings. Like I'm a younger sibling, and I don't mean
how many?
One, just myself and my brother.
Oh, okay.
But like, I don't mean to generalize, but from what I've seen and what I definitely see in my niece and nephew, it's not even being competitive with them. It's just proving to yourself that like, I can take care of things on my own kind of thing. Yeah,
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
I would agree with that.
Just because your whole life, you and I don't know what it's like to not be with a sibling because we're the younger ones. So your whole life, you've always had someone there taking care of things.
Yeah.
Right? An older sibling knows for whatever short period of time or whatever long period of time, they know at one point or another what it was like to be the only one.
Right.
Or like if you're a twin, you know how they do the whole twin, like, oh, I'm a minute older. Like, no, you're not. You were born at the same day.
Yeah.
Right? So
My nephews are like that.
are they twins?
Yeah, not identical twins, but what's
Fraternal? Fra? No. That's
I don't
like a
know.
frat, like
P
a
or
college
free?
frat?
Yeah. Well, they're born
To it.
basically
Non-identical twins.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, they were born at the same time, basically. But
the same day. If you were born within 24 hours.
It's funny, the one looks like my brother and one looks like me.
Oh.
Yeah.
But
Question?
at the same time. That's okay. Yeah. I don't know Colorado, how that works.
No, they're in Vermont. So,
Vermont.
ooh.
Oh. Where Ben and Jerry's is? Oh, God. Is that Vermont or New
Yes,
Hampshire?
yeah. You like Ben and Jerry's?
I'm an ice cream. That's a cheat meal kind of thing. Ice cream in general.
Well, there's 1,400 calories in a pint.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And I don't.
That's a vice.
Well,
Bacon and ice cream are my vices.
My wife says I try to only eat half a pint, but then she says, while you're eating it, you might as well eat the whole thing. No. Oh,
No reaction. You thought that would get a reaction?
I thought that would get a reaction. She gave me a.
Have you had her on the podcast? Have you had her on?
Not yet. I have plans for it. She don't know yet.
I got you.
Yeah,
Oh,
she
okay.
chimes in. She's a special guest.
They
That's
can't
why I
hear
wanted
you.
to-
Like they can't hear what she's saying now, right?
They can hear.
They can hear?
It'll pick up a little bit.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah.
So I feel like, why aren't you chiming in this episode? I
She'll
feel
come
sort of
over.
insulted.
She'll come over and.
I got something to do. I still love you, Artem.
There's always going to be something to do. That's how life goes.
Okay.
Oh, nice. All right.
Oh, here
See?
she comes. Shh, here comes my wife.
Artem is awesome.
That's fair. That's fine. I don't know if you're trying to. Okay. I mean,
you're not gonna. That's what I got right now.
I mean, we'll take it.
I think you should take it. It's true.
Oh, all right. Great. Thank you.
So that's what you get. But no,
fine.
Ben and Jerry's.
So you do that all on your own.
Yeah. Speaking of my wife, we were having a conversation one night about calories.
Sounds good.
Well, I was eating a pint of Ben and Jerry's, And I was like, man, checked out my fitness app. I burnt 1,700 calories today in my workout. And she goes, but this Ben & Jerry's you just consumed has 1,200 in it. I was like,
You still made out negative 500, right?
yeah, but yeah. Well, that's a
Don't encourage her.
that's a pound.
I got a
fat,
couple
by
of
the
friends
way.
that say
know
you
that,
earn
right?
what you burn.
You earn what you
You
burn.
earn what you burn. Yeah.
Well, okay, I'll go with that. But you know what? I think it's 500 calories is a pound fat.
I don't know.
I think so.
It's weird. Like I'm not
No,
super into the
no, I'm sorry. That I'm gonna correct myself. 3,500 calories.
3,500 calories equals a pound gained or a pound burned.
Pound burned. If you burn 3,500 calories,
That's a lot to burn.
because the thing that I saw, it was on a little. It's called Testosterone Nation, T Nation. They do like fitness stuff and all that.
Sounds aggressive.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Artem will be here all week.
Oh, boy.
Try the veal. And it said, have a negative 500 calories each day.
A deficit. Yeah. Okay.
Deficit.
To lose weight.
Right.
Okay.
So to lose weight, burn 500 more calories a day than you consume.
Okay.
That's 3,500 calories in a week. That's a pound of fat.
Oh,
so now you're
in a
losing-
week, not in a day.
Right. But that goes back
But I was
to
like, most people don't
3,500
eat
calories.
more than 3,000 calories a day.
Yeah, but it goes back to 3,500 calories is a pound. That's where I got the 3,500
gotcha.
calories
Okay.
is a pound. So that's a healthy weight loss.
Are you like?
I don't pay attention.
You don't count. Like okay,
I
so
don't
you
count
know
calories.
approximations of how much you're putting in, but you're not sitting there with like a scale. And going
No,
like, okay,
no, I've
yeah.
never been like that. A big benefit of my recent weight loss is my wife's cooking and her encouragement of eating healthy and
Great.
and her little voice in my head when I'm out and about and like, do you think that would be really good for you?
Oh, I like that.
Or no, her saying is, is that going to get you where you want to be?
Wow.
And yeah,
I like that.
So she encourages me, and I just went to the doctor and got a really good clean bill of health, and
You guys got to go out for a nice steak to celebrate.
Speaking of that,
And a pint of
Ben and Jerry's or two,
Yeah.
or two. So I text her after I got out of the doctor's office, and I said, hey, the doctor said I got a really good clean bill of health, and I'm a healthy guy, and this, that, and the other, and she's like, we should celebrate, and it's all over text message. We should celebrate with kale salad.
Ah.
And I said, you spelled steak wrong.
Yeah, there you go. But it tastes that much better once you have a clean bill of health.
Yeah. But my thing is an 80-20 rule.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
That's a good
You
rule.
gotta live a little.
Absolutely. And I feel like, you know what? Like, people disparage certain things. Like, all right, steak, if you don't smother it with butter, it's a nice...
It's not a bad
It's
thing.
a protein intake. Yeah, it's just regular protein. If you cook it properly, don't fry it in batter.
Right.
But if it's just like a nice lean steak,
and
nothing
eat the
wrong with
gristle too.
yeah,
Absolutely. I tell people, they're like, that's fat. That's good for you.
Yeah, fat
The gristle is good
not
for you.
necessarily always bad.
Right.
But also,
now, fat from
you can
a bag
have.
of Doritos, now that's different.
Honestly, I feel like if you're gonna use that Doritos example, there's so much in that worse than actual fat. There's so many chemicals. and just different,
yeah,
but
of
that's the
course.
thing. Like that's what people focus on is just the fat. I'm like fat's not the bad part of most of what we're consuming.
Right.
It's the things that shouldn't be in a body in the first place.
Right.
That are just
So
being
it's the
put
whole processed,
there. Yeah, exactly.
out of a can.
Yeah. So I'm like, I would rather like have not a great example, but like a bag of beef jerky because at least like I know it's dried meat versus like lunch meat, in a sandwich that I don't even know if
Where
it's
it came from?
really if it's really actually from an animal or it's just like a sponge cake painted brown.
Right. And that's where, too, you asked earlier about my gym bag. I'll have that, a protein bar in my gym bag. A lot of those, they don't taste very good. But
No, but they're also, most of them are like candy bars, basically.
Yeah,
And they
yeah.
just call it protein bars.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. But between that, it's better than having a number 4 at McDonald's.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think that's a given. Hopefully that's a given.
Right.
Well, it's like people who are like, I had a big salad with light ranch dressing. I'm like, yeah, that's still ranch. Still ranch dressing.
And they smother in ranch.
Exactly.
You know,
And
it's
like, I had a
dude.
salad with bacon bits and some
Actually,
and Parmesan cheese.
I had a bowl of ranch dressing with a little bit of salad in it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
and,
right,
and
but-
bacon bits.
But hey, everybody's got their thing. So,
As long as, I don't know. Like, I don't want to tell people how to live their life.
No,
As long
I
as you're
don't
happy,
either.
I guess.
yep.
Because I feel like a lot of people just say, hey, if I'm going to enjoy my life and whatever. Like, I don't like exercising. Okay. Do you.
Yeah.
Whatever you
There's
whatever
a
you gotta do.
saying I have on my Instagram account too. It's replace I don't have time with it's not a priority.
100%. I agree. I'm not going to get into that too much because I feel like from a personal and from a business standpoint, there's so much we could say about that.
Yeah, that's a
yeah.
whole other episode right there. But
Yes.
I appreciate you coming in.
Yeah, definitely. I'm honored
I
to
see
be here.
you're like awkward, not knowing what to do with your hands.
Yeah, I'm usually
Still.
holding a microphone. And now it's like
You
the
didn't
microphone.
want to sit here like this all day.
No, I didn't want to clutch the microphone the entire time. Like I'm angrily speaking with you, like yelling at you. Yeah.
Cool. Anything? What else is going on? What's your plan today?
Plan
Rest of
today
the day.
is to rest actually because it was a long night last night. We actually we had breakdown last night after the wedding. We finished breakdown this morning because it was an overnight.
Yeah.
And I want to say I drove like 2.5, 3 hours, and then
It's
I came here.
Yeah, it's about 3 hours. No, it's 2 hours away. Or did you go somewhere else? Oh, because you
No,
had to
it's like
return the gear, right? Oh, no.
Oh no, I got to return the gear. So we got to put it in storage and everything. And I got to return a lot of it tomorrow. But it was like about 2 hours. There were some stops, obviously, along the
Okay,
way. But it was like like the service areas. Because
Oh, okay.
I'm not that type of person that can drive 3 hours straight. Like I get
You
antsy.
don't like put a podcast on or audible book? or
Yeah, but
something?
just physically. Like that's why one of the reasons when we were talking about flying on a plane, like I always try to get an aisle seat.
so
I
you
can
can
at least
walk around
get up
a little
bit.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I see.
I'm not like I can't sit for too long. I think that helps in general, like in life, because you got to be active.
Right? Yeah, absolutely.
But sometimes when you're like in a car driving, you have no choice.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I'm like, if there's a rest area or something where
You
we're
get out, walk around a little bit.
yeah, just
And
give
it's
me a
an
few
easy
minutes.
drive down to
Hey, it's
Atlantic
not bad at
City,
all.
straight down the Parkway. you
Yep.
know, But
Yeah,
well, cool, man. I will put your, people listening will be able to find your link in the show notes and all that too.
perfect. Yeah,
I'll get that from you where you want that directed.
sure. We did all one take. I don't think there's any editing
No
involved
editing.
here.
Fuck, No, I don't. I wanted it to all the episodes to be organic, like we were talking about.
Yeah, definitely.
Almost. Obviously, it's not live, but
Right.
it's live.
Right.
There's no editing.
right.
The first episode I did with Mark, that took some editing. And you listen to it; it's a little rough. I might not even post it, but
Okay.
yeah, that's why I'm trying to practice more on these and get good people in, telling stories and
Yeah.
all that, and just talking. So
Tell me what's real quick before we end off here. What's like the regimen? There's the gym regimen. So you said you kind of don't know what you're doing until you actually go in physically.
yep.
And then what's the like eating regimen? Is there one?
When I'm hungry.
Okay. No, in terms of what you're eating. Is there
No,
like everyday breakfast? This is this. Every day for lunch
Yeah,
is this.
no, my breakfast. My only real consistent what I eat is at breakfast.
Right.
I try to get into the meal preps and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I do fall away from it. Shit always
Okay,
perfect.
life
whatever.
happens.
Yeah,
Yeah,
life happens.
absolutely.
But my shakes in the morning are quite regular.
That's what
I
does
love
it,
those.
okay.
Yeah, we got them down to. To me, they just taste amazing, and I put frozen fruit in them, so they're cold and it's good
All year round.
all year round.
Nice.
Yeah, that's usually and then once in a while I'll blend one up at night if I don't feel like cooking or we don't feel like cooking or because I never feel like cooking. I knew that was coming. I am not a cooker. I
No.
can open I can make mean scrambled eggs.
Okay.
Mean
That counts.
And I can just absolutely crush a can of chunky soup.
A can.
I
So what
can
does that
make
mean?
that
You-
taste
you-
amazing.
Oh, you add stuff to it, or
No, I just heat it up, dude.
why does? Okay, whatever. We'll let you have
some,
that one.
Yeah, put some Ritz crackers. I am not a cook,
Oh, I
dude.
see.
I am not
What
a
about
cook.
salad? Because salad's basically just stuff.
No,
Like it's just
I don't
pieces
put-
of other stuff.
I don't put salad together.
Okay.
So I got a great funny story since my wife is in the kitchen right now. She'll hear this, and it's amazing. It's a lot of fun. So my wife is an amazing cook.
Okay.
When we first started dating, she had this little studio apartment. Excuse me. Just like I did. And I was at her place, and she's like, "I'm going to make dinner." And I'm like, "All right, cool. I'll help." Because, in a new relationship, I'm going to come in, hey,
I mean, you should still help regardless, but yeah.
So it was a studio apartment. The kitchen was small. And she had the door open to the refrigerator. And she could basically reach the stove. Right?
Okay. From the fridge.
From the fridge.
Okay.
And she would be like, "This would be good. This would be good. This would be good." And she just starts taking things out of the refrigerator and putting it in this pot. Well, of course, anyway. But she puts, she's just throwing stuff in a pot. I'm like, "What the hell are you making?" She's like, "I don't know. This will look good. This will be good. This
So
will
like a soup? What's happening?
yeah.
Oh,
Pretty
okay.
much, right?
Oh,
So
okay.
I was like, all right, I'll let you do. And
your
again,
thing,
the
yeah.
kitchen's really small, right? So I was like, all right, I'll go into the other room, and I'll just, I was watching TV, and this aroma starts coming from the kitchen. And I was like, man, that smells pretty good. She brings out this bowl, and I'd look at it, and I was like, huh. Take a taste of it. Never looked up till it was like licking the bowl clean. It was amazing, and she still does it to this day. It's crazy how good she can put stuff together.
Is that how she won you over?
Oh, duh.
Oh.
Through my stomach.
Like, okay.
Absolutely.
So you go. It's
Yeah, and she's a belly dancer.
okay.
Yeah, so between those two combinations.
Got it.
Yeah.
That's how
That's
you
a
knew.
whole other conversation.
That's how you knew.
Because of my mind?
You're what?
My mind.
No.
He didn't deny that the mind is there. He just said it wasn't why.
Yeah. You do have a mind, but that wasn't a driving force.
Wow. Before we get into like rough territory here, and it goes to that, it would be a great gift for her to show her you appreciate her.
What's that?
An 8-ball jacket.
Oh, I
I've
should.
been wanting one of those, Artem.
Good. Everyone should want one.
Kidding. I'm totally
They can't hear you. I can guarantee that they could
They can
probably.
hear you.
Can they hear
Yeah,
it? That's
yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah. It'll be slight, but
Slight,
they'll
that's
hear
okay.
it. Yeah.
It's more fun this way.
They can hear her rebuttals about the fact that she doesn't want an 8-ball jacket.
No, I heard that she wants one, and
wants
she
one.
said it's a ladies' medium with orange and yellow. That's
Slim.
what I heard.
Yep.
Slim fit.
Slim fit.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
As long as I look like Artem.
I don't know
Wow, Artem, I don't know how to take that.
I don't know any young lady who wouldn't want an 8-ball jacket in her closet.
That's where it should stay.
I hang out with some very reputable people.
So on your front,
Yeah.
what about the any lovely ladies in your?
Wow.
Yeah,
Transition.
you like
Was
that?
it a smooth transition?
That was smooth. You're asking me about my wife. I don't.
You're
expect-
married, so that's. I
Well,
feel
I
like that's
understand
fair
that,
game.
but yeah, but we've
She's
been
literally
friends,
right here.
but we've been friends for a long time, and
Yeah.
what's up with your lovely ladies, man?
I'm a private person in terms
Okay.
of I think I will. Like, give me a chance to make a great transition even greater.
Oh, so what he's gonna
Let me
hey,
smoothly get out of this.
So my wife's in the kitchen and yelling rebuttals the whole time. But so what's going to happen, Val? This is what's going to happen. He's going to talk a little bit, and he's going to transition into he's going to have me answering a bunch of questions. Watch. Go ahead. I know.
Can
Absolutely.
you grab a seat? We'd love to have you join us.
Well, I'm just going to put my muffins in the oven.
Sure, it's always the muffins in the oven.
I know. Always an excuse.
No,
See, I
always
get that
excuse,
excuse all the
By the
time.
way, I thought we were in a healthy eating home. What's with the
those
muffins?
wait.
Oh. I don't understand what's happening. They can't see this. They can't see. They can't see
You're
your
supposed to
practical paleo book. Is that what's her face on there?
I don't know who that
Is that No, that's not. Was it Giada? What's her name?
That is not Giada.
What's Giada?
No.
Oh, well, I like that you're offended. So please fill us in.
I like that you're offended.
Fill us in on who's Giada De La Renta.
She's
Okay, me too.
she's a
We probably
TV
like her for various
Italian
reasons.
Chef.
She is a TV
She
Italian
makes
chef.
Tasty food.
That's what I heard.
From
Yes.
what I hear.
It looks tasty.
Mm-hmm.
I actually don't. I guess she's a stock image model or the author of the book. I'm not sure.
Should we just say the name? I don't know if that's her. That's a great point.
actually
Can you Google Diane Sanfilippo?
Yeah, she
looks like a Diane.
But it's a beautiful cover.
You would know this better than most, right? Because you work in the online world.
Yes, I use a lot of stock images.
Do
for
you?
Work.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you pretty much made stock images for a while.
Yeah, for a long time, yeah.
But this recipe, Artem, is good.
Give us a recipe.
It's lemon blueberry muffins.
Lemon blueberry muffins.
No gluten.
They can hear.
Oh, they can hear.
Yeah,
I don't
you
have
don't
to
have to repeat it.
transcribe. Yeah.
Should I talk in an accent so it makes
Oh,
sense
I
and
love
you-
your
that
accent.
you,
Just talking to the mic though,
You
babe.
like a lemon blueberry muffin?
Whoa.
My wife's half Korean, by the way. Just
I mean,
You gotta remove myself from this
It
podcast.
hurts so much. You're not gonna translate anymore. Huh?
What are you talking about? If you do it in another language, I will translate.
Okay.
Oh,
No, in another language.
How do you say that?
She doesn't know.
no, watch.
What language are we going with, by the way?
You'll figure it out.
All right.
Beurre et un peu de
Oh.
sirop d'érable et un peu de how do you say that? De vanille.
Butter.
What is it?
That's basically what French people put in all their
Citron.
butter.
Citron.
Oh, a citron of butter.
Citron, c'est
Oh,
un
lemon.
petit truc,
Lemon.
ouais.
A little bit of lemon mixed with some butter.
Some sugar, probably.
Some
a little
sugar.
bit
Some
of in there.
sugar.
I don't know. These
Milk.
words.
Milk.
Yeah.
Coconut flour.
That's how you say it. That's how you say it in French. I guess.
That's like how I speak Spanish. I put an L and an O. An
Yeah,
L.
no. Bathroom-o?
No, yeah. El Biro.
Yeah.
I don't remember how to say these other words.
That's
so,
okay. I think we get the gist that you're making muffins, basically.
You got
So wait a minute, Val.
citron.
Oh, citron, because of citrus, yes.
So
See?
this is
universal.
this is why Artem is Entertainer of the Year, because he took the focus off himself.
Did. Let's get back to, I'm gonna step away.
I'm not the
why
star
don't
of the
let's
party
get
here.
let's get a woman's point of view with Artem's personal life.
Let Artem
Wow.
answer your question.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm on the spot a little.
Let's do it right now. You think
You're
this?
not standing, is that
Oh,
okay?
you can stand over me if you like. Here, put the pressure on. Put the pressure on. I will answer this.
Hey, if you want to
vividly.
keep your stuff private, that's cool.
No,
I
I'm
just
going
want
to
to
say
see.
I'm a private person in terms of when things are happening, and then once I feel like it's
Solid.
it's the point where you want to share it, great.
Okay.
But I don't
We
feel
did
like
that,
you guys
kinda.
did that for a
Yeah.
while.
About sharing that you are available. Maybe there's ladies listening to this podcast.
I don't know when this is going
Oh my
to air.
gosh.
That's the problem.
But you're proud.
Why is that a problem? I mean,
Because when is it gonna-
people will be admiring you?
They should always be.
interested.
Everyone should always be admiring
Maybe
people
they're
that.
not gonna like you so much when you know.
When is what now?
They should always admire.
They should
It's
always
true,
admire.
it's true.
Yes.
Yeah,
See, we went perfectly without having to do any edits, and now you're giving him something to edit.
Oh, they're not at it. It's all going in there.
I'll let you answer your question.
Sure. So, what did you ask again?
Where's the lovely ladies?
Oh, sure. So, in terms of my romantic life, that's something I typically keep private up until to a point where I feel like that's something that could be publicly shared.
Okay, cool.
And
I
feel
respect
like
that.
once you're at a point in your relationship where you both feel comfortable, it's where it's headed. So you meet people, and people want different things at different times in their life, correct?
yeah,
so
yeah.
sometimes you meet somebody who does want a relationship, sometimes you meet somebody who doesn't. And I'll be the first to admit,
But a relationship could last 20 minutes.
correct.
Yes.
Well, not gonna touch that. Not touching that. But
Choosing to not comment.
yeah. I would say that at different points in your life, so I will be the first to admit that a lot of times, because as a business owner, your schedule isn't solid, right? And that sometimes creates issues.
Right.
We could admit. I think we could both admit that.
Yeah. The other thing too is, I know we talked about it in the past, was in your industry,
Yeah.
it's even tougher that
To a point.
you're gone on nights and weekends.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that obviously affects.
I think it's that compiled with, you know how it is in terms of entrepreneurship. A networking event might pop up like 2 days before or 2 days after you even knew about it, right? So like
Yeah.
things happen, and then so you need to find someone who, like you did, you were fortunate enough to find someone who knows how that works. On top of which, then it needs to be, I feel like, and I hate to even put it this way in this context, but actions speak louder than words. So
of course.
there could be certain things that you can try to go an extra mile, and then there's
My
certain-
wife is walking over here like she has something to say.
But with muffin,
She's-
a muffin pan, they're not tins, right?
It's a tin. It's a muffin tin.
What's the difference in a muffin pan and a muffin tin?
I don't know what part of the country you're from. Like,
No, all right.
maybe people just have. I've called it a muffin tin.
But we
You
want
could
this.
call it either.
We want this podcast to be universal. So what do we call this?
What do you call it?
Hold on.
Oh, you're gonna drop the butter.
A metal piece. I had never dropped butter. A metal baking item
Reciprocal. No.
A receptacle
Receptacle.
that
Not reciprocal.
creates.
Could be
12
reciprocal.
muffins.
It could give me muffins.
Yeah.
So.
What did you come over here? You
so
came over here with a mission.
I'm feeling like. Actually can't.
Oh
remember right
Jesus!
now.
You do have cats. I did not.
I forgot to tell you.
You
That's
know
my.
that cat?
That's
You have
my,
multiple cats.
That's my
Two.
assistant
That's
producer.
multiple.
Just two.
Is not multiple?
True.
Yeah.
You can say multiple.
Yeah.
I'm
No,
just letting
I
you know.
fully knew that you had cats, and I actually saw the cats walking around. It's not until she jumped. He or she?
They're both
It's
Well,
not that. It's not that they.
She identified.
However, they'd like to be identified as whatever.
Identify as one gender or another.
That's my assistant producer. So careful.
Can we get a name?
With her Thelma and Louise.
Nice.
They're
We
pretty
keep them away
gender
from the.
specific.
We keep them away from the Grand Canyon.
Got it.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, she wants to say hi.
but she doesn't look happy though.
No, she's super happy.
She's a super lovely
That's
cat.
Do we pet? Do we not pet?
Very
Oh,
friendly.
very. She'll jump. She'll
watch
be
out,
all.
She might.
What?
She'll know-
Finish that sentence. You
might
say
get
what?
hair on your
Watch out.
jacket.
She might. You have to finish that sentence.
She might get hair on your jacket.
And she's thank you. And she's
it's
definitely pulling you
pristine.
away from the petting.
Well, she's getting to know you.
Sure. Okay. Sure. Yeah.
All right. So go back to.
Yeah.
So
I can't remember what I was
yeah.
Oh no,
yeah.
I often joke with women that I meet that the most difficult thing about me is my schedule, which is a fair thing to say. I'm sure there's other difficulties too, but the schedule is a part
yourself.
of it.
Let me just say.
Can I just say I'm self-aware, and I think that should be a positive quality.
No, that's good.
Yeah. So I think just it's really in terms of building a relationship is I think any entrepreneur will tell you sometimes difficult when you're working with the type of schedule that entrepreneurship involves.
Yep, I agree. I just happened to meet a girl that.
Young lady, yeah. Well, your wife's standing right next to you.
I'm just a girl. That's my favorite. One of my favorite lines. I'll text her when I'm coming home. I'm going to see about a girl.
Oh,
Do you know where that's from?
no.
Goodwill Hunting. Right? Yeah.
I've never seen it. I have
There's
a
a whole story behind it.
I have
but-
a whole list that will offend you of things I haven't seen that I
I'm
don't
not offended. I just feel
never
Not offended.
I've never
it's
seen
just
If you've
of our
seen it or
cultural
not.
history.
never
Yeah.
seen Star Wars.
What?
I ain't mad at you for that.
No.
Wow,
And I don't
I'm surprised.
and I don't plan on it to be quite honest. No. I feel like now the more and more I go not seeing it, the more unique I feel.
Well, were you? But you grew up. You grew up in this country.
I did.
But like,
I just don't care about
you
Star
were never
Wars.
like all the kids at school were like, oh, I'm gonna be Han Solo, and
That's correct.
you were like,
Not all the kids. I didn't go to like
a
a
shit. You're like, screw you.
No, I didn't not aggressively like that.
No, he was like Tupac and stuff.
That's true.
You dressed up as Tupac?
I'm sure there was a Halloween that I was Tupac. Yeah. It's a fairly easy costume.
Yeah, that is
It's a
true.
bandana, basically.
Yep, and a shirt button at the neck.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good.
I
costume
guarantee.
choice.
Yeah, I'm sure there was, and I'm sure there was a Vanilla Ice costume in the mix as well.
Oh yeah, that was the 8 Ball.
I think. Are you? I guess you're a fan of Vanilla Ice.
I'm a fan of Vanilla Ice. I don't know.
He's doing
about,
like flipping houses. Or
that's
something
Rob
now.
Van Winkle. That is
That's
that is
that's his real name,
the,
right?
the man behind Vanilla Ice. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
a fan
yeah.
of Vanilla Ice
Oh, I see,
strictly.
I see.
Except not
I
the-
don't know what he's doing. Yeah,
I thought
personally.
I saw something where he's flipping houses or something.
That
Doing
sounds about
something-
right. Yeah, he like fixes up houses and then tries to sell them or something. But it's like for like
Definition of flipping a house.
was it House and Garden or HGTV or
Oh,
something?
yeah,
Yeah.
You
Take
get
a
some
picture.
yeah.
I'll try not to get butter on your camera.
Oh jeez.
Oh, she's multitasking.
Wow. I'm holding a buttered tin. How do I?
Well, you can come back. Yeah,
I'm gonna come back.
Yep.
Yeah,
Start time.
please
We're
keep
about,
things professional here, Val.
Yeah, of course. Well, I'll say we because my wife joined us at that point.
Sure,
And the
yeah, I'm glad
cat.
she did.
And the cat. Mm-hmm. Look at
She was
she's
very
giving you
tired.
a look.
Yeah.
Appreciate you coming down.
Yeah, thank you again. I'm honored to be here. Thank
Yeah,
you for
and
being
I'll,
part of the list.
You on all the? I don't do the plugs. I'll just put your
No,
stuff in
no
the
need.
in the show notes.
Okay.
So we'll get the details offline. So.
Sure.
It's cool, dude. Thanks.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.